Welcome to Ask a Member, a program of the Adrian Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm Ann Hughes, president of the Chamber, and my pleasure today to welcome Aaron Ricketts. Welcome.
Hi, Ann.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
And you could talk about a lot of things, but today...
I could?
You could.
Oh, you've heard me talk.
I've heard you talk before, yes. But we're going to talk about the Amvets.
Yes, we are.
Organization right here in downtown Adrian. So why don't you, fill us in. You know a lot about this. You've been involved for a long time.
Yes, I have.
With the Amvets.
Yes, I have.
What's their purpose?
The purpose, and I actually have a mission statement here I'd like to read.
Okay, why don't you read it for us?
The Amvets mission statement is to enhance and safeguard the entitlements for all American veterans who have served honorably and to improve the quality of life for them, their families, the communities where they live through leadership, advocacy, and services. And actually that's a newer mission statement. They had another, which I enjoyed the last mission statement, which talked more about community. Mm-hmm. But in our last 10, 15 years of our wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, we've moved back towards making sure we're focusing on the veterans and being advocates and focused on the veteran, him or herself.
I think
so,
that's important. I mean,
I
can see why the community thing would be enjoyable, but the need.
Yes.
You know, with all the recent wars and,
right.
and all the veterans coming home and such horrific injuries.
Yes, a lot of young veterans here, and I'm amazed as I've had the opportunity to talk with the local colleges of how many are enrolled there, and some of them aren't even from this area, but because of the colleges being so open towards veterans and bringing them into their community, mm-hmm. we've accepted them now in our community. So it's been great to meet a lot of these young folks. When I say young, I used to talk about that with me. But I'm, interesting enough, I'm more of the, even you said I've been around a little while, and some of these guys coming in are, late 20s and around 30 that usually don't see at a service organization, especially a mm-hmm. veteran service organization. Often people don't start getting involved in our organization until later. So it's good to see the young people that are coming in. But I can talk about more specifically about our post and Amvets here in Adrian. We're at 122 North Main, mm-hmm. and right across the street from here.
That's right, neighbors.
Yes, and we've been there at that location since 1999. Our post was founded in 1989 by Paul Hill. Right. And Paul was a great advocate for veterans and veterans' rights, and a mentor for me and many others. Passed away 10 years ago now. And he started the Amvets in the old Democratic building.
Okay, that's right. I'd forgotten that.
That's right. And we were there for nearly 10 years until we moved to our current location. So now we have a building that gives us the opportunity to serve veterans, to give them a nice, wholesome place to meet and for fellowship and camaraderie. And our post has approximately 500 members. 250 wow. members are veteran members. The other 250, half are ladies auxiliary members, so non-veteran females join that organization. And then our other organization is the Sons of Amvets, which are the male non-veteran supporters of the Amvets. And our requirements are, of course, to be a veteran member, you have to be honorably discharged from the military. What makes us unique, as there are a few other veteran service organizations, what makes us unique is that we allow all honorably discharged vets and active military to join our organization. The others have requirements. You have to serve overseas or serve during certain periods of time. Okay. And we don't have that requirement. We also take in the fold of National Guardsmen and reservists, which the others do not allow those military folks to come in. Okay. So that sets us apart. Our connection has been from the Adrian Armory over the years. And so that's where I came from. I was active military, then came out and met Paul Hill walking down the street mm-hmm. one day. Everybody's got a story about Paul Hill the first time they met him. And he he asked me about joining the Guard. I said, well, I'm already in the reserves. I was in the infantry. So when I came out, that's all I know. I was going to be in the infantry. He says, you sure you want to do the infantry some more? I said, well, that's kind of the reason I got out. I was kind of done with that, doing that stuff. It's difficult work. He said, how about the signal unit? So I joined that unit, and then here I am 20 plus years later, still involved in the Amvets as a founding member back in 1989.
That's great. Now you look at your mission statement here a minute, but you talked about to enhance and safeguard the entitlements for all American veterans. What are some of those entitlements, and what kind of experience with those have you and the others, the Amvets, had here?
That's a good question, because we've really made it our mission to do whatever we can to make sure that the information is out there to all of us that are veterans and have served. And one thing that we find when people come back is they don't know exactly what the rules are, what they are entitled to as a veteran. So we have a service officer. He's very active. He's gone through quite a bit of training, especially in the last few years. And a lot of veteran service organizations have a service officer and do that work. But what we try to do is get people to give them the information so they can get to the right person. And here in Lenawee County, we have a great veteran service or VA office, and we want to make sure that people get acquainted with them, especially if they have a need. Very often people don't know what hospital services they have, what they have afforded to them, especially when the new ones come out, because they're and we all remember when we were younger, we didn't really think we had a need for health care. And we kind of just went to the doctor, sporadically and occasionally. Well, veterans should really use the VA hospital and get acquainted with them, because they have a couple years of, even if they didn't serve overseas, even if they weren't in the war area, war zone, they still have the opportunity to use the VA hospital for a period of time after discharge. The rules have changed over time, but that's one thing that we find. I'll give you an example. In 2003, we had the local signal unit was called up, and they've been called up another time since then, but the original time we went to Iraq. So there were several members from Adrian that went to Iraq, and when they came back, a lot of them did not know that they had the opportunity to use the VA hospital. Some of them we found, because we had service officers come down and we did a presentation. We had 60 people there. I think 40 of them were from the unit that went to Iraq. Wow. They came back, and half of them did not know that they had the opportunity to use the VA hospital for just minor things that they might need. They were going locally and probably spending the money that they could have kept in their pocket and then use the VA service. That's an example. We want to get that information out there to people.
What are their, they've always talked about after a war and the military comes home, what are the educational benefits of veterans?
There are an array of benefits that I'm not the expert. I couldn't speak to every single one, but they have the opportunity while they're in active military to sign up for a lot of programs. Each service military branch, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, they have their specific college programs that they have designed for to promote enlistment and then promote them staying and re-enlisting. So they have different programs within there to keep the balance, or keep their, if the Navy's getting low on personnel, they might throw some more opportunities at them.
More incentives.
More incentives, yes. And education is a big one. So very often we'll see the Army is a big one because it's such a big force, and that's what I did. I had to pay $100 a month, I believe it was for 24 months. And then when I got out, because it gave me an incentive to pay in, so I bought into something, and then when I got out, I got $20,000 for college. I got a 4-year degree on $20,000. Well, today it's $60,000 and $80,000 that they're giving troops when they come out. The GI Bill is fantastic. You got to get to the VA office here in Adrian. A local VA rep will get you there and find out what your benefits are.
So how do you contact the vets come home? They don't know, whether it's health-wise or education-wise, what's out there for them. How do you reach them and point them in the right direction?
That's usually we made our phone number easy, 264-5555, and we always point people in the right direction. But how we find them is always an issue. We do have, the governor recently appointed somebody in a new office to help coordinate with not just the local county counselors, we call them, that we have here at the VA office, but also the local organizations, the Amvets, the VFW, and the American Legion, and the Disabled American Veterans. And there's others. We can coordinate to get that information to those troops when they come back, you know, when they discharge and they come back, and we can get that information to them. But we're really just trying to be active, and you know, you asking me to be here today is another great way to get the information out.
And I would imagine, you know, given what these men and women have seen and gone through, I would imagine that just the social aspect of the Amvets facility is important to their getting immersed back in the community and having people who have had similar experiences to, to talk with.
What's interesting about our Amvets Post here in Adrian, and then we are very unique because I'm considered more of one of the older members. Now, if you go to the other organizations, you'll find that I'm very young in their membership, which I am a member of their organizations too. So I hear this, I see this. So we do have a fold of 80 and 70-year-olds, and then 40 and 50-year-olds, and then we have 20 and 30-year-olds that are coming in and running our organization now, which is fantastic.
That's good.
Yes.
That's what we need to see. Okay. Again, tell us your location and your phone number.
122 North Main Street.
Okay.
And we're right near the Lotus Palace. And we are, our phone number is 264-5555. And during the week, we open at 3 o'clock. Our lounge hours are at 3 o'clock. We close, depending on the day, between 10, 11, and 12 o'clock. So we're just open like 60, 70 hours a week. But we have a great time. We have bands on occasion. We have karaoke, of course. Every Veterans Post has karaoke. And we have open mic, and we have a hall that members can use and rent for, use for less than, very minimal, $50. And that's our, you know, thank you for being a member. And it's already booked for baby showers and graduations that are coming up. It's booked for the rest of the summer already.
Well,
for
that's
weekends.
good to know. And it's important work that you do. And every time we come downtown during hours and you're open, the you know, the streets are packed. So
Yes.
I know they're in there and taking advantage of the services and the camaraderie.
Yes.
Very good. Well, thank you for all the good work you do.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.